Pryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, so now we were doing this verse Paranchikhani Vratiruna Swayambhuhu Tasmat Paran Pashyati Na Antaratmanaha Kaschid Dhiraha Pratyak Atmanam Aikshata Avrutya Chakshuhu Amrutatvam Ichat. Okay, so the literal meaning of this verse is that the Lord has created, right, us in a way that we can see what? Objects, right? And we cannot really see ourselves. And therefore, even though Atma is self-evident, it's not available for objectification. Okay? And that's why the mistake that we make for Atma remains for how long? Remains for very long, because everything else we used two pramanas. One is what we call pratyaksha and the other one is anumana. Everything in the universe we know. In fact, we talk about 6 pramanas, but I'll talk about only 2 pramanas, which are important pramanas. Pramanas is means of knowledge. Okay? If to know any form, you need your eyes. Okay? To hear sounds, you need your ears. You can't interchange. You can't say, I want to see forms with my ears because my eyes are not doing well. Right? So therefore, you know many things in this world by using your sense organs, but it's not only that, okay? You also know many things like the age of the universe through not perception. You were not there. How do you know it? Through reasoning, right? You use series of logic, either one-step logic or series of logic to arrive at some conclusions, right? So this is what we generally know, and this process of knowing, perception and perception-based reasoning, right? Can it make me correct that mistake that I have about myself? Can it? No. Right? Because you have already concluded you are small, right? And your perception is for objects, and the inference is also for anything that you have observed. You are using series of logic to arrive at some other conclusions. Okay? That process doesn't help you to correct this mistake that you have made. So now you are stuck. How are you going to correct the mistake about the nature of Atma, which comes along with the causes? You know, you're born with this ignorance. So you need an independent means of knowledge. So this is why it says that now, therefore, everybody's orientation is, I'm limited, and that's taken as reality. And then what happens? You keep on searching for fulfillment outside, what you can see and what you can infer. He says, Kaschid Dhiraha. There are few intelligent people, okay, who understand that this fulfillment that I am searching doesn't happen by searching outside through my perception and inference, right? Then he says, Pratyak Atmanam Aikshata. Okay? They first recognize that the nature of problem is, I don't know my true nature, and in order to know my true nature, I need an independent means of knowledge. Right? There are a lot of people who say Vedanta or Vedas are logical. Vedas are not just Yes, they are extremely logical. Why do they seem to be logical? Because they don't contradict logic. Any statement that it makes can be substantiated by logic. But if you just use the logic, can you arrive at what Vedanta says? No. Unless somebody points out that you are already full and makes you see it, okay, you yourself thinking about your true nature, you will have billions of ideas. Because inference is based on perception, and you have no perception. Atma's perception is not given, right? So Vedanta is, as a tradition, it seizes as an independent means of knowledge. What is the means it uses to make you see your true nature? It uses the words. The words are used in a way that they create a meaning for you. Okay? That's why when the teacher is teaching Vedanta, the teacher is not just giving a discourse. The teacher is using the words to make you see certain things. Okay? And this knowledge, right, that the teacher is conveying to you, where does it come from? That person's teacher. And that teacher, who did he or she learn it from? That person's teacher. And then that person, who he or she learned it from? That person's teacher. Where does it end? Ishvara. Right? So now, therefore, you can't ignore Ishvara, because you can't say, I want to learn Vedanta, but I'm not interested in Ishvara. Because the source of this knowledge is what? Ishvara. Okay? So therefore, now we need to understand, we have no option but to understand what is Ishvara. That's why I'm using this verse, and using this knowledge, what will you get? Amrutatva. You will get immortality, the ultimate fulfillment that you are looking for. So imagine the source from which this knowledge comes, and you said, I don't want to recognize this source. And I don't care about this source. Right? So therefore, you have to understand, you can't avoid Ishvara. In Vedanta study, you can't avoid Ishvara. Okay? So therefore, I'm using this verse to explain to you, because I have only a few verses, so I have to somehow use the verses to convey the vision. Right? So therefore, this verse, which is using this whole thing about Swayambhu, who has arranged this in a way, right? And also Swayambhu, the Lord has also arranged in a way that if you choose to know, you are also capable of knowing. The whole arrangement comes from Ishvara. So what is that Ishvara? So we saw in the morning that if everything resolves in awareness, okay, what could be the cause of everything that comes? Everything is, can it be anything other than the awareness? Logically not, right? You can't have the whole universe. Right now, if I examine anything, it comes to awareness, and awareness is something which is in my buddhi, which I find that it is independent of everything. Okay? Then you don't have anything else, you have only awareness. So these forms cannot come from some third thing. It can only come from awareness. So therefore, this awareness, how then, if awareness is the cause of the universe, why do you need another term? You already have a term, Sat, Chit, Anand, Atma. Why do you need Ishvara, another term, to describe awareness?
It has a function.
Excellent. Excellent. Because this awareness, as I am showing you, has not undergone any change. Right? That is the real nature of this awareness. But there is something which has made it possible, right, for all these forms to emerge. So there is a function there. There is what this awareness which has, what is this function? It has first the capacity. This awareness with the capacity to manifest as the universe, right, and create all these names and forms, the capacity, and that too without undergoing any change. Itself undergoing any change. How do you know that it has not undergone any change? Because right now when I show you that if everything is variable, what remains invariable is what? Unchanging reality. If awareness had undergone a change, you will not find that awareness which is invariable presence. Understand that. Therefore, how do you explain that? So this awareness, without undergoing any change, has a potential to manifest in form of the universe. This potential, you give a name. Right? Your mind has a capacity to figure out the electrical engineering thing. So you said you're an electrical engineer. There is no stamp on your mind that you're an electrical engineer, right? But with reference to the kind of inquiry that your mind has undertaken, I say you're an electrical engineer. It's a practical way of, and she is an economist. Right? There is no stamp in your mind that she's an economist, and there is no stamp with which you're born, you're an electrical engineer. But with reference to the subject matter in which she has trained her mind, and you have trained her mind, I give names. You need names to understand. Similarly, if that potential to create, manifest the universe, you have to give a name. And that name is Maya. Okay? Then, when the universe, that potential which is in a causal, it comes into manifestation, then that potential becomes what? Actualized. So you call it Ishvara. Okay? Now, Gabi asked me this question in the morning, which is an excellent question. Okay? What she said is, if Ishvara, brilliant, this is where you see sharpness of thinking. What she said is, if Ishvara is the cause of the universe, right? Ishvara has to precede the universe or not?
Be before.
The cause has to precede the effect, right? It has to come, be there in order to produce the effect. Yes? You can't have effect without a cause. So the cause has to be before. So that means Ishvara has to be before the creation in a potential form. So why do we have two terms, Maya and Ishvara? Why can't you say Ishvara was in the potential form before and then it became manifest? Do you get the idea? Do you get the idea? Okay. Doesn't matter. Don't worry. Then what she's saying is right. The same thing is explained in different Upanishads with different terminologies. So this whole phenomena of Maya and Ishvara is explained in different Upanishads with different ways. Okay? Either you can say, there are three ways. One is, sometimes it is said that there is Maya, okay, which is referring to unmanifest, And then there is Ishvara, which is referring to Nimitta Upadana Karana, the efficient and material cause of the universe. This is how you divide. Maya as a potential and Ishvara as the maker and the material. Like I explained to you in the morning, Ishvara is not only manifesting as laws, but it is also manifesting as what? The objects, which are subject to those laws. Right? So this is what we call the maker and the material, both. It is the forms and also the laws. This is Ishvara and Maya is the potential. This is one way of looking at it. In Mandukya Upanishad, Ishvara is described as the cause for the physical universe, the subtle universe and the causal universe. In this case, what Gabby says is right. That causal includes what? Maya. A different way of explaining it. So that you don't get stuck with this, if you understand the reality, if I put it differently, your mind is able to figure it out.
And in Chandogya, it's Sadeva Somya.
Exactly. And in the third explanation is Ishvara with its Maya created the universe. That's a third expression. So you see, the same thing is said differently to make you see, not to be stuck. If you understand all the three meanings, then you got it. If you get confused and you said, here you are telling me that Maya is potential and Ishvara is manifest, and then there you are telling me Ishvara is all three, and in the third thing you are telling me that Ishvara with Maya created the universe. What is all this? Right?
Yes, what is all this?
What is all this? So that's how you make your buddhi sharper. That's how you understand things, right? When I put it differently, it doesn't confuse. And when the Upanishads put it differently, it doesn't confuse.
And can I add one more confusion? And in some other Upanishad, it is said that it is Brahman which is the cause of the universe.
Yeah.
This Satchit Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Okay. This without undergoing any change, it is manifesting the whole universe.
So therefore, Ishvara, what is this whole thing you need to understand, right? And you can put it anyway, it doesn't matter. So don't say, oh, my teacher now, she hasn't understood, if somebody else tells you. So, what you have to understand is, this Brahman, this awareness has a capacity to project. Okay? Now this capacity to project, it manifests universe. In order to manifest universe, what do you need? You need knowledge and you need power. You need knowledge. You need knowledge. Yeah, to manifest. So if a pot maker wants to manifest a pot, or a glass maker wants to manifest a glass, what has to precede?
Idea.
Yeah, you must have knowledge, idea and knowledge, right? You can't just produce things without having idea or having knowledge. But only knowledge will it enable you to produce the object? No. You need material and you need what? Power to use the material and to create it. Right? So therefore, the awareness, whatever, whether you call it Maya or you call it Ishvara or you call it whatever, it needs what? It has to have what? Knowledge and power. which is what we call Sarvajnaha Sarvashaktiman. Now this Sarvajnaha and Sarvashaktiman, okay, depending upon how you look, if you want to give a special name to unmanifest, you will call it Maya. And if you want to give a special name to the manifest universe, you'll call it Ishvara. Or to both Sarvajnaha and Sarvashaktiman, manifest and unmanifest, you'll give one name, Ishvara. One is potential, Ishvara is power, then Ishvara becomes the universe itself. Right? Or you can say Ishvara with its power to manifest created the world. All of them are saying the same thing.
But we are not using for both Maya.
Sorry?
But we are not using for both Maya. This,
No. No.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Because Maya is only referred mostly with reference to the potential.
Yes. And not,
But Ishvara can be used in both ways. Yes? Very good, God. Yeah. So therefore, Ruth, you understand?
No,
Anyway, it's too late.
I need to attend the next course.
Yes.
Some little rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means what we are talking about is the power and the knowledge. Okay. Now, yes.
Why do you say only power and knowledge? What is with the material?
Yeah. So what is actually, if you really look at it, what is the material? To create this body, what is the material?
Power power of creation.
Exactly. In fact, the body is what? Forms within forms within forms within forms within forms. What is really the substance?
Okay. Awareness.
Yeah. And then the knowledge. Awareness with that knowledge of how to create a body, right?
So it's a way back.
It's a way back. Yes?
Okay.
So therefore, everything collapses in knowledge only. Everything collapses. What seems to be very tangible, if you examine it, right, then it is, how did all these different atoms and particles combine together to create your kidney? Knowledge. Knowledge is the basis. Without knowledge, it's not possible. And power. How can something which is intangible become all of a sudden tangible? Power. Knowledge, power. Knowledge, power. Anywhere you see in the universe, ultimately, you only see knowledge and power to bring about that manifestation.
Power would be the same as energy.
Power is, capacity to manifest. It's not, and capacity to manifest energy also. Not energy. Right? Knowledge and power is all that is here. That knowledge and power is the cause of the universe. That knowledge and power rests on whom? Knowledge and power don't hang in the air. On awareness. Right? So what is the relationship between awareness and Ishvara?
They're the same?
No. Yeah.
They are the same. In some ways you are right. They are the same. Right? They are not two things. But which is more fundamental? The knowledge and power, can it exist without awareness? No. But does awareness require power and knowledge for it to exist? No. So therefore, there is this relationship which is that power is something which is what we call mithya in terms of ontological, right? In terms of the reality, Ishwaratvam is mithya. Okay? But Ishwaratvam is mithya does not mean Ishvara is false. Because wherever there is mithya, there is satyam. Mithya cannot exist without satyam. So that means you can say truth of Ishvara is what? Awareness. The truth of me, the jiva, the individual, is what? Awareness. So that's why there is an equation. What is the equation? Tat Tvam Asi. Who are you? When I say Tvam, you, which you am I talking about? Very good. The whole teaching is addressed to Jiva. The teaching is not addressed to Brahman. Brahman doesn't need teaching. Right? The Jiva is told, you are that. Now the Jiva says, how this Ishvara is all knowledge and all power which has created all the forms. Not only my little form, but the form of all these billions of people in the present, in the past, in the future. It has created all the galaxies, all the planets. It has created the whole universe with all its laws, all its forms. How can I, the little person, be equated to this cause of the universe, this all knowledge and all power? Our Swamiji used to say that what? All knowledge is what? In English you call it omniscient, right? And all power is what? Omnipotent. He used to say, I don't even know how to spell what is omniscient and omnipotent. So how can I be that? Right? Where is the comparison? Where is the comparison of that knowledge which has created the whole universe and my little buddhi which is struggling to be objective?
The same content.
Exactly. So it says the forms are different. The individual upadhi, individual with its one little body and one little mind, the form is different. And the Ishvara form Ishvara doesn't have a form, but Ishvara's nature includes what? Everything. Every form, time, space. And before all these forms came, what? All the knowledge which is stored, which will give rise to future forms. It includes everything, like you saw in Mandukya. Where is the equation? The equation, as Carl says, is not in form. It's too different. The equation is in the content. When I inquire into this individual, what I find is what? Awareness. The truth of this individual. I'm taken from my individuality to the content. I'm taken from the form to the content. What I find is awareness. When I inquire into this Ishvara, which is all knowledge and all power, which makes the whole universe, all the forms of the universe possible, and all the laws, everything possible, what do I find as a content? The same awareness. So therefore, what it says is Vachyate bhedaha lakshyate abhedaha. The immediate meaning of me and Ishvara, there is a huge difference. Huge. And nobody can deny that difference. I did not construct this body. I said, okay, now I want black hair, and I want this size of eyes, and I want this figure. I didn't do that. I was born with this. I didn't decide on my parentage, I want this mother and this. I was given. I didn't decide the shape of the sun and the shape of the moon. It was all given. I came in a given universe. Right? So that all knowledge I cannot deny. The cause which made all the forms possible with all the intricate knowledge. You go to medical school and you study what? This anatomy and how the physiology works. Not one part you can understand in its totality. There are a lot of things which are known and a lot of things which are yet to be known. And that's why people, they become Nobel laureates. Why do they become Nobel laureates? Because they discover something which was not discovered before, which was already there, but it was not discovered. Right? It's already there. That already there is Ishvara. And that Ishvara, from where the whole universe has come, this knowledge, the Vedas, where it has come from? Same Ishvara. And your opportunity to learn, where does it come from? Also Ishvara. This whole body of knowledge, the whole key to the creation, where does it come from? The same all knowledge and all power, what? It is not confused about reality. You are confused. In the buddhi, there is avidya. You need grace. This is what it says. There is a third Brahma Sutra. There are Chatussutri that we study. The third one, it says Shastra Yonitvat. Shastra Yonitvat means that Ishvara which is even the cause of the Shastra, Vedas, which has given me this knowledge. This knowledge, Ishvara is, when you are taught Tattvamasi, through the teacher, Ishvara is making this knowledge available to you. Making you see what is. So that what happens? The veil which is created by what? The Avarana Shakti of Maya is lifted. Your avidya is gone. And you can see the reality. This whole Veda is also coming from Ishvara, an independent means of knowledge. So therefore, to establish the relationship, proper understanding and relationship with Ishvara is a very important part because it's there. Not because you have to, otherwise you will be punished. No. If it is there, and if I'm interested in reality, what choice do I have but to see it? I have no choice, because the reality doesn't depend upon me, depend upon what I think. Reality just has to be understood as it is. So therefore, this is the nature of Ishvara. Ishvara, by its essential nature, is awareness, the same awareness that you are, but in terms of its so-called nature, the form, I don't want to use a form because Ishvara doesn't have one particular form, it's all forms. You are one form, Ishvara is all forms. But even not only the forms, but also the laws. And even when the manifest forms and laws are not there, it is there as all knowledge and all power, and it's unmanifest. Right? So therefore, Ishvara as an entity has to be understood, and you need to relate to it. Because you need Ishvara's grace to understand this knowledge. The source is Ishvara. You need grace of Ishvara. And if you're interested in a wave, cannot say, I just want to know I'm the water. The wave comes from the ocean, is sustained by the ocean, goes back to the ocean. I'm not interested in the ocean.
The obstacles are Ishvara too.
Sorry?
The obstacles too.
Yeah, exactly. Even Ishvara is in form of the obstacles. That's why you pray to Ganesha, remove my obstacles. That's why you start every class with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let all three forms of obstacles not come for me. There is no Vedanta. If wave wants to know the reality includes what? The form wave, the entity ocean, and the truth of both, which is water. You can't ignore ocean and say wave say, I'm the water. Then where you didn't create all the other waves. Who created? You.
Who cares?
The wind. Right? So therefore, Ishvara is the one who has created you in a way that you are oriented outside, but also given you an opportunity to inquire into this knowledge, and to have this knowledge, and to have total clarity in this knowledge. So this is Ishvara. So this is enough for today. Now, people can ask me questions because this is very important. Tomorrow I have to finish, so I will have to go a little bit quickly. I know it's not the best time to remove doubts about Ishvara. It's 10 o'clock. But if you have burning questions, you can ask me so that tomorrow we can go faster. I stop. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.